Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about a game called Lords of the Fallen, especially the update 2.0. When it first came out, we saw like a number of reviews going from 5 out of 10 to 7 out of 10. People were quick to point out its flaws and many dismissed it as a failed Soulslike. However, after the update 2.0, all I have seen online and by so-called game journalists is praise. A lot has changed, people are really loving it a lot, which is why I decided to do a review of my own and tell you what I think of the game and should you buy it and should you play it. Now, it is an old game, it's not a new game, but what makes it special is that the update came out last month in April. One of the biggest reasons I want to talk about it is that it's a redemption story for the developers. CI Games and Hexworks Studios, mostly known for their Sniper Elite games and Sniper games, which are like some of the more realistic sniper shooters. Now, this game, I think we only get very few redemption arcs when it comes into gaming, because we had No Man's Sky, then Fallout 76. Those are the popular ones that got a redemption arc. Now, this game right here also has one of those. So, first off, I just want to talk about the game itself. So, Lords of the Fallen 2023, it's a reboot of the 2014 original. It's a dark fantasy action RPG developed by Hexworks and built on the Unreal Engine 5. The standout feature is that it uses the dual realm system, which is kind of like a cross between Dark Souls and Titanfall 2, if you get it. So basically, it's like Exium, which is called the world of the living, and Umbral, which is the world of the dead. You shift between them using a lantern called the Umbral lamp, and basically, it itself adds on details and depths later on as we move through the story and progress through the game. Basically, it's a Souls-like. It's a Souls-like at heart. There's tougher enemies, there's higher stakes, there's big bad bosses, ugly looking bosses, and the main thing that separates it from the regular Souls-like formula is the Umbral lamp itself. Talking about the update 2.0, which came out in April 2025, it is being called a soft relaunch, and for a good reason, because the combat is now way smoother, attacks feel snappy, parrying is tighter, and animations are much more improved. The performance of itself in the game is way better now. I did experience some minor bugs and glitches, but that's a common now with Unreal Engine 5. But overall, I didn't see anything game breaking or immersion breaking. It was actually a really decent update. It is actually a really decent update. Talking about gameplay now, it's classic Souls-like. You know how Souls-likes are. There's punishing combat, but it's fair, and then when you die you lose all your souls or echoes or runes. Whatever the currency is, you lose it, and then you have to restart. There's tough bosses, there's tough enemies, there's areas that you should only go to once you're higher enough level. So now what basically differentiates here is the Umbral lamp, because the realm switching mechanic really sets it apart. Only exist in Umbral, so you're constantly. When you die in Umbral realm, that's it. You have to start again from the bonfire, or as this game calls it, Vestiges, which I'll come to later. But when you're in Exium as in the world of the living, basically after you've run out, let's say, your healing items, now you take one final hit and you die, the game gives you a second chance by reviving you in the Umbral realm, and basically you can fight back. But when you are in Umbral form and you die, that's permanent, so you'll have to go back to the Vestige that you were, and basically kind of like Souls-like, where you have to restart again from that point onward. The combat, however, now feels fluid and impactful. Dodging, blocking, and switching between melee and magic actually feels responsive finally. It was bad in the previous version. Talking about weapons are diverse and satisfying. Whether you like great swords, dual blades, or ranged spells, there's a style for you. With the 2.0 update, everything feels tighter and hit detection is finally consistent. Boss fights, they are a highlight of the game. There's designs that are absolutely gross. For example, like the spurned progeny, which had a third hand coming out of its mouth. But then there are designs like Judge Cleric. Oh, and the guy from the previous game, he's also in here. He also comes back as a boss, but I wouldn't go into spoiler territory just yet. Talking about bosses, one of the first bosses that you face, first major bosses, of course, is Pieta, and she is a tough one. Like, she is a challenge for new players. Basically, her flying moveset is what causes everyone problems, but then once you figure out that the direction she's using to fly away from you is the same direction she's going to use when she's coming back, so that makes it easier. And after that, after you beat Pieta, the music, of course, is awesome in the entire boss fight section. But after beating Pieta, once you head downstairs into the church, that's where you realize not only was she the first boss in the game, but she's also the lady whom you're gonna bring the saintly quintessence to get the sanguinarix, which is kind of like the Estus flask from Dark Souls. You can basically upgrade that through her. She upgrades it because she has blessed blood or something. Play the game and you'll find out. Now, why I recommend this game is if you gave up on Lords of the Fallen back in 2023, now's the time to come back because version 2.0 has addressed nearly every major complaint. It's gone from a rough draft to a refined, immersive, and generally fun experience. It's not perfect, not by any means. Some pacing issues are still there and backtracking remains, but it's one of the best redemption arcs I've seen in gaming since No Man's Sky. Should you play it? Yes, absolutely. Especially if you're a fan of Souls-like games and want something familiar but with a fresh twist. I'm gonna give Lords of the Fallen a solid 9 out of 10. I think everyone should play it. If you're a fan of Souls-like, fan of Dark Souls, you should definitely try it out because it's dark, it's daring, and this time it delivers.